So yeah, it's been a minute since I talked about Diablo 4, but we have good reason today because yes, we are getting a brand new expansion in late 2024. This is the first expansion for Diablo 4, and as you can see, we are headed back to a familiar region from Diablo 2, and this expansion is dubbed Vessel of Hatred. We're also going to be getting a brand new class, never before seen class, introduced to Diablo 4 as well. That should be interesting, and we also have an entire dev update from Blizzard themselves. They talk about the future of Diablo 4 overall. We're talking about what they're doing this winter, of course, with Season 2 and new patch updates, and also something called the Gauntlet. So we got to talk about that one as well. So yeah, we'll get into it. But yeah, check this out right here. If you don't want to miss out on the best builds ever, I highly recommend checking out Mobalytics, the ultimate desktop app for the best Diablo 4 builds. It's an in-game overlay for Diablo 4 that allows you to import the absolute best builds crafted by expert players for every single class in the game. Now, over 10 million players use this app to help them tackle the game's most challenging moments. Also, Mobalytics now offers an extensive build planner for Diablo 4, which allows you to basically carefully craft the character of your dreams from scratch and easily outline your plan between all of your skills, aspects, Paragon board, and more. Now, once you're done, you could save your build for later and even share it with the community too. You can come up with some absolutely creative builds using the Mobalytics build planner, so check it out. Now, Mobalytics also has full guides on how to play each of the builds and classes properly, and there's even detailed information on how you can take full advantage of passives and skills and use them in tandem. It's extremely impressive and very well done. And yes, the Mobalytics app complies with all of Blizzard's terms, so it's completely safe to use. So yeah, what are you waiting for? Join me right now and download the Mobalytics app for free by using my link in the description below and get access to some of the best builds for Diablo 4. And a huge thank you goes out to Mobalytics for sponsoring this video and for making my Diablo 4 experience so much more fun with the Diablo 4 desktop Mobalytics app. Alright, so I say we get into all those brand new details about the expansion. As you can see here, we're going to be talking about what's happening this winter for the current running season, and yes, the Gauntlet, and further updates as well. So let's start out with the expansion. Check it out right here. This is what the dev blog says. It says, the Vessel of Hatred continues the grim tale that began in Diablo 4 as you learn the fate of the primeval Mephisto and his demonic plans for Sanctuary. Now, to do that, you'll be visiting a new region to Diablo 4 known by the locals as the Nantu. With this continuation of the campaign story comes new ways to play, new evils to vanquish, and a brand new class, by the way, never before seen in the Diablo universe. Now, Vessel of Hatred releases late next year, of course, and we can't wait to share more about it with you next summer. So yeah, by all indications, that would mean that Diablo 4 would be making a presence on stage at the Xbox conference. And with that, I would think that we'd be seeing actual gameplay of that expansion running. So yeah, we have that to look forward to next year during summer. Now, furthermore, it goes on to say this, in the less distant future, the third season of Diablo 4 will usher in a whole new type of weekly challenge dungeon called the Gauntlet, where Wanderers can compete for their class ranking against anyone in the world. At the end of each week, the combatants with the highest rank will have their name cemented in the seasonal Hall of the Ancients of all time. Now, ever wonder what the holidays are like in Sanctuary? Well, now you can find out in our first seasonal event, Midwinter Blight, beginning on December 12th and lasting for 3 weeks. Now, trudge through the snow-laden Winter Terror land of fractured peaks, and be sure to keep your eyes peeled for mysterious red low terror. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. A little bit of a fun distraction there in Fractured Peaks, which I think Fractured Peaks is the perfect place to have a wintry wonderland for sure. Now, goes on to say this right here. Now that we've given you a glimpse of some of what's coming in the future, let's come back to the present. Starting next week, we'll introduce 5 unique class-specific rings that will let you tap into powers from Season of the Malignant. Okay, so we're going to tap into those powers, revisiting them, it seems like, yet again. So that should be interesting with what's currently going on with, of course, the current season. Now, it says, then on December 5th, an enchanting preview feature for the cultists will come to Diablo 4. Now, this will allow you to see what effects are possible before spending your hard-earned gold. It's another way to give you even more control over developing just the right build for whatever hell throws your way. Also, starting on December 5th is Abattoir of Zir, a highly replayable 6-week in-game event experience designed for players who have reached level 100, slain Uber Durrell, and mastered all the other challenges Season of Blood has to offer. Now, those who survive will obtain a Paragon Glyph constructed from Landseer's, or Lord Seer's, very own blood. But beware, the Avatar of Seer starts at a soul-crushing difficulty and only gets harder. So that's definitely not for the faint of heart, definitely for the more hardcore fans of Diablo 4 that are just sitting there wondering, what do I do next? So let me know how many of you have actually reached level 100. I'm sure many of you have already and probably are going to want to try that out, definitely if you've been playing Diablo 4 up to this point. Now, goes on to say this to wrap it up. All of this is made possible by the support of our players and most importantly, your feedback. Thanks to feedback, we've added an in-game boss ladder for receiving unique and uber unique items at a higher rate, made the ascent to level 100 40% faster than it was in Season of the Malignant, reworked from power to be more rewarding, and released a ton of quality of life updates through our patches. So, you know, I have to say Blizzard lately has been doing the work. They've been definitely putting that work in to fine-tune Diablo 4 based on your guys' feedback, and it seems to be bringing people back bit by bit. You know, one way that I can tell is by going over to the subreddit to see how active it is, to see if there's any community involved in the game whatsoever. And from what I have personally seen is that, yes, the community is definitely on the up and up in terms of player retention. People are steadily coming back to the game to check out the brand new season. But I think, you know, if they really keep up with the stellar updates in terms of the seasons and really push seasons to be better and better, as they, you know, have said that that's their goal. They want each season to be bigger than the previous. It seems like they're on point with their statements so far, and they're definitely doing stuff to head in that right direction. Let me know if you guys have been playing Diablo 4 or not, or if other games have been keeping your attention. It's been really, really crowded. We've had Spider-Man 2 out, Alan Wake 2. I've been playing the hell out of Alan Wake 2, by the way. Freaking love that game. And then, of course, yeah, there's the big heavy hitters that came out, Baldur's Gate 3, which still have a high retention than Starfield, of course. Starfield has been more of a divisive release for sure, but I'm curious to see if anything has pulled you away from Diablo 4 currently. Now, it's been a while since I've done a Diablo 4 video, but I wanted to go over your top comments from one of my more recent, I suppose you would call it, Diablo 4 videos and see what you guys had to say about this one. And yeah, I asked you guys this question right here. Do you guys think Diablo 4 could ultimately be redeemed like Cyberpunk 2077? Let's see what you guys had to say, shall we? Remember, leave a comment down below. I love reading them. You never know, it could end up here in a future video. But we have this one right here from BG9 who says, I respect the resilience of those content creators still willing to play and cover that game. Admirable. Yeah, there are people that really want to stick with this one and believe in it. Brian Story says the game will probably be fun one day. Unfortunately, a lot of people won't know it by the time they get there. The question is, will they pop open the game, install the new updates or whatever, and give it a chance? Because the thing is, this is by far Blizzard's fastest selling, most successful game to date, which means there is an install base. Just because players uninstalled the game doesn't mean they're not going to be willing to reinstall it, for instance. So yeah, I think that's what Blizzard is kind of going after, letting people know, hey, we are constantly updating this game. It's getting better, and it's going to lead up to that expansion. Let's see if they can really walk this tightrope, so to speak, and keep it going. All right, so next up, we have this one right here. Ronald, who says this, place the auction house in each area's main town hub with selling only in the AH. This resolves 90% of the concerns. The community set the standard prices by how much they're willing to pay bid. That's what most always online service games use. I have had rubber banding issues as well since 1.1. Now, this is older, of course. Let me know if rubber banding issues have been plaguing your game or not still. Now, he goes on to say this, I have little doubt Diablo 4 will get better. Heck, we're only a few months into the live game. Growing pains are to be expected. Yes, I prefer it to not be necessary. Unfortunately, that's not the reality we're in. Diablo 3, had its fair share of similar issues. It took a couple seasons before they got it right. I'm willing to give the devs at least a few seasons to iron out the kinks. Yeah, you know, that's more of a forgiving approach for sure, to really wait out. I think some people are kind of tired of having that approach based on other games that have released. But overall, let's see if Blizzard can really keep with this. I am extremely curious to see what happens as we further get into like season 3, season 4. that's where it gets interesting to see if there's any backpedaling in terms of features or nerfing. And, you know, they really have said and been adamant about, hey, we really are not going to be nerfing anything going forward. Don't worry. Now, we have this one right here, Muppet Mania, who says, I would like to believe that they can turn it around, and perhaps they will when the first expansion is released. As for the seasons, they have to step up their game a lot for me to do season 2 and so on. Yeah, season of Malignant was very meh, of course, but the recent season, it seems like people are overall, for the most part, pretty much enjoying it from what I have seen. Could be wrong in your case, let me know. But there it is. Thank you all so much for the comments. Love reading all of them and for all the support on the channel. Stay tuned here for more Diablo 4 news and updates. I have you guys covered, and I will see you all next time. Take care.